Okay, when I read this problem here, you're going to be like, oh my gosh. Okay, it's actually not as bad as it's going to sound working it through. So the scientist wants to make 6 milliliters of a 30% sulfuric acid solution. Now, I just said that. Here's the bucket he needs. It's going to be 6 milliliters of liquid, and 30% of the liquid is sulfuric acid. That's what he needs to end up with. Okay. The solution needs to be made from a combination of a 20% sulfuric acid solution and a 50% sulfuric acid solution. Now, he's going to make that solution. He's got these two buckets, okay? Got these two buckets, okay? This has 20% sulfuric acid. This has 50%. He needs to know how many milliliters to put in from this bucket and how many milliliters to put in from that bucket, okay? It's got to make 6 though, okay? Remember that. So basically that's what he's trying to do. This is what he needs to get to, okay? He needs 6 milliliters of liquid, 30% sulfuric acid, okay? But in order to accomplish that, he has a 20% and a 50%, so he needs to know how much from each bucket, okay? How much liquid. I mean, is it 5 from here, 1 from here? That would make 6. Maybe it's 2 from here, 4 from here. Maybe it's 4 from here, 2 from here. I don't know, okay? Now, remember what we said when we were given combinations of percents that are all together, that are combined together. We want to go to our table. And we are going to put the lowest percent here, the highest percent here, 50, because you're combining that, and you're making it into the 30%, okay? And also, quite frankly, you know that it's got to be more. Since 30 is closer to 20 than it is to 50, it's more is coming out of this than this. Okay, so I'm expecting to have a higher amount from the 20. Okay, so same idea, but now you're not dealing with money, you're dealing with milliliters, so ml. Okay, percents is 20 divided by 100, 0.2. 50 divided by 100, 0.5, and 0.3. Okay. Now you can cross out all those percents. Don't want to see them. The only milliliter quantity you have is 6, and that's for the 30%. Okay, it states that, so that's going here, X and Y, because again, we want the 6 milliliters to have the 30%. So again, that's 0.2x, and then you guys pretty much know what to do from there, but you have to actually multiply 6 by 0.3. 1.8. Okay, and then I have my system. We have x plus y equals 6. Nothing wrong with that one. I need to multiply these by 100 to lose the decimal. Okay, 0.2 times 100, use your calculator if you don't know it, it's 20x plus 50y, and that's going to be 180. Okay, now you multiply these by 20 and those by 1. 20x plus 20y equals 120. 20x plus 50y equals 180. Negative loses those, and then we end up with negative 30y equals negative 60. So I divide by negative 30, and that ends up being 2. Okay, so here's my y, that's the 50%, so 2 there, and then you just minus 2 there, and you get 4. Okay, just as I predicted, there's more coming out of the 20% than there is out of the 50%. Okay, next one. How many ounces of a combination? The same thing's it's the same concept on all these, okay? How many ounces of a combination of 20% hydrochloric acid solution and 70% hydrochloric acid solution need to be mixed to obtain 20 ounces of a 50% solution. So again, mixture of percents. You see you got a combination of percents. You go to your table because you got the low, you got the high, 70, and then 50. Okay, now whatever answer I get, okay, 50 is closer to 70, so I'm expecting a higher amount from here. Okay. So percent, and then again, this is ounces though, just put OZ. 20 ounce, because a 20 is measured in ounces, not money, not milliliters, whatever. So that's 0.2, 0.7, 0.5. Okay, and then we can ditch those. Now 20 ounces, it says that's of the 50%, so it's going here. X here, Y here. So that's 0.2X, 0.7Y. 20 times 0.5 is 10. You should know that mentally. It's just half of 20, okay? All right, so we have X plus Y equals 20. That dog will hunt, but this won't. I want these times by 100. Now, you can use this equation, but you're making it difficult on yourself because you can miss a decimal place. A lot of things could go wrong. So that makes 20X plus 70Y and 1,000. And then we'll be multiplying up here by 20 and here by 1. Okay, so that gives me 20X plus 20Y equals 400. 20X plus 70Y equals 1,000. Negative, negative, negative. So that's going to make negative 50Y. That's going to make negative 600. And then when we divide negative 600 by negative 50, Y ends up equal to 12. Okay, so it's 12 there. Okay. And that's 8. Okay, here's my next one. A farmer needs 24 gallons of milk, that's 20% butter fat. If the farmer has a combinations of two milks, one's 24%, the other 18%, how many gallons of each type of milk does he have? Okay, so once again, I'm expecting a higher, now you got low, high, and then the middle's 20. Now again, 20 is closer to 18 than it is to 24, so we're going to get a higher answer for the 18, okay? I keep saying that for a reason. There's going to be a problem that comes up here. So gallons, gallons. Okay, so you got 0.18, 0.24, and 0.2. You can put 20 if you like that better. So the gallons is 24, that's of the 20. Remember to multiply there, 24 times 0.20, okay? I get people that ask me dumb questions like, do you add or multiply these? Well, I don't know, you tell me. You're finding the percent of a number. Of means times, okay? So you get X plus Y equals 24. And then again, I'm not cool with this, so I don't want to deal with decimals if I can help it, okay? So that's 18X plus 24Y. 4.8 times 100 is 480. Okay, we're going to be multiplying the top by 18, and the bottom will just be by 1, meaning it's not going to change. So it's 18X plus 18Y. 432. Okay, negative, negative, negative. Okay, negative 6y. That's negative 48, so we divide, and that works out perfectly. It's 8, so there's my y. That's 8. Okay, and I subtract 8 from there, and that's 16. Okay, as we predicted, the higher amount lies within 18, because that middle percent's closer to the lower percent. Okay, this one actually can be done a lot quicker than this table, but only this one. This is a special one. In chemistry class, you have a combination of 1% and 5% hydrochloric acid solution. You need 100 milliliters of a 3% hydrochloric acid solution. How much of each solution should you pour into the mix? Okay, so you got your low, you got your high, and I got my middle. Now hold that thought. You set it up, but you know, 3 is an equal distance. It's just as close to 1 as it is to 5. Well, then I don't need this. All I need to do is divide my 100 milliliters by 2, and it's 50 and 50. Okay? So if that's an equal amount between the two, then I know right away. But that usually doesn't happen. FYI. Okay, for extremely cold temperature, you need combinations of 100% antifreeze solution and 50%. That means just pure antifreeze, no liquid. And then the other container has a 50 antifreeze and 50 water. Okay, what I need in this bucket here is 11 quarts of 70% antifreeze. How many quarts of each solution do we need? So again, you always want to check for the distance, kind of. So here, the lowest percent's 50. The highest is 100. Then 70. 70 is not equal distance. It's closer to 50. It's 20 away from 50, but 30 from 100. So you can't just split it in two like that last problem. So you got quarts, and percent. Okay, 0.5. 100 divided by 100 is 1, and then 0.7. So yeah, that's right. That's 1. Okay, and then the 11 quarts is of the 70%. Okay. So we're going to have 0.5x. We're going to have 1y. And then 11 times 0.7, I think it's 7.7. I'm not sure. Okay, got it. So again, x plus y equals 11. I still have decimals here, so times them by 100. You could also times them by 10, but that doesn't always work. 100 will always get rid of the decimal because there'll be either one place or two places. So that's going to be 50x plus 100y. That's going to be 770. If I just multiplied by 10, I'd end up with 5x and 10y and 77. But if you do by 100, you always get rid of them. You'll be working with bigger numbers, but that's fine. 50, 50, 50, 1, 1, 1. So I get 50x plus 50y equals 550. And then 50x plus 100y equals 770. Okay, so I get negative 50y. And that is going to give me negative 220. And then I divide by negative 50. Remember, you're always plussing those together. I don't ever like to subtract when solving systems. A lot of teachers do. I don't. Okay, y is 4.4, so here's my y. That's under the 100, 4.4. Then I minus 4.4 from there, and 6.6. Okay. All right, guys, that's all I have to say on that. I hope it has been informative, and you got one problem to do.